So spring is officially here in the Boston area, and in Massachusetts at least that means that a lot of people are going to be looking to buy or sell homes. And since we're in the wake of the pretty atypical year in sales that was 2020, it's a good time to ask how is the market doing. But since that's a pretty big topic, I'm just going to be focusing on Boston and specifically condo units that are in the Boston area. So if you're interested to know what it might be like to buy a condo or sell a condo in Boston right now on April 13th, 2021, stay tuned. Now, to fully explain how the market is doing right now in 2021, I want to give a brief overview of how it was doing in 2020. Last year, even amidst the pandemic, a lot of people thought the market was doing great, but when you looked at the numbers at the end of the year, it didn't really bear out that was the case. The thing is, at the beginning of 2020, around March, prices were actually much higher than they were even at the end of 2019 for condos. So that probably made it much less noticeable when prices really only slowly began to taper off. In the Boston area, we didn't really see condo prices begin to fall harshly until about around fall. Unfortunately for condo owners looking to sell in the late fall, a bunch of people decided to sell their condo in the fall of 2020, and we ended the year with about twice as many condos that are normally on the market at that time of year than in the last 5 years. And this sharp rise in supply tanked prices to below where they were at the end of 2019. And prices continued to sink even as of March 1st this year, as inventory still remained high, days on market kept getting longer, and sellers continued to put on more units, well, at least more than there usually are in the last 5 years. Now, while that might seem pretty grim if you're a seller, the good news is there's actually been a pretty massive surge of buyers since mid-March. So yeah, while as of today, April 13th, we still have more units on and more units coming on than we have in the last 5 years, there's also been more closed sales today than there has been on April 13th in the last 5 years. So we're seeing a pretty rapid market recovery in the condo area, with average list prices already encroaching on pre-COVID list prices in 2020. So now that you've had a refresher on the market, when it comes down to the question, is it a good time to buy or sell? And well, it depends. Since there's a pretty massive influx of buyers, condos that are hitting the market now sometimes do get prices that are even higher than the highs of 2019 and early 2020. But with so much new inventory hitting the market every day, and a lot of inventory that has been sticking around for a while, if you hit the market without a good pricing and marketing strategy, it is still possible that you could get lost in the shuffle and get a below market rate on your condo. So if you're planning on selling, just make sure whoever you're working with is keenly aware of the market conditions in your area. Now for the buyer side of the equation, unfortunately the best time to buy was probably a couple months ago when everything was extremely cheap, at least on the price end of the spectrum. The plus now is you have way more choices in what to buy. And while a lot of condos will be hotly competed over, if you are paying attention to the seller section, since there are so many condos coming on, some of them won't be priced right and some of them won't be marketed correctly, and that will give opportunities to maybe put in an offer that's a little lower than the ones that are hotly competed over. And while prices have gone up since a couple of months ago, it looks like the trajectory is continuing to go up, so if you're sticking clearly on, if you're just sticking on price, it's probably a good time to buy now than to wait until both the prices and likely the interest rates go up in a couple more months. So I hope this information was helpful for you, and if it was, please subscribe or follow depending on if you're viewing this on YouTube or Facebook. And of course, if you'd like help buying or selling your condo from a professional real estate agent in the area, you can contact me using the information you see on the screen, and my team and I would be happy to help you out. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.